All right, hopefully this is working. Can you guys hear me okay? Check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is the resolution decent? Hopefully so. And again, for those of you who are watching later, hopefully this is uploading in decent quality. All right, fantastic. All right, welcome everyone. Like I said, I've been promising this for a while. I got approval to do a full review of Mastermind Creations Magna Inventa, their version of their reformatted line, Skylynx. And so to be clear, this is not intended to be a full final review, since one, this is still a test shot. You'll see that very clearly just from looking at the space shuttle portion of it. But the bottom, the Magna version, it's pretty close. But there are some changes that were even still apparent to me when I was at TFCon. But MMC, again, was gracious enough to allow me to go ahead and review this. So they even said I can go ahead and do a transformation, which is great. So, disclaimer ahead of time. Again, this is a prototype. Be aware that things are likely to change. Colors, especially on the shuttle portion, are obviously not done. This is just bare plastic, early, I guess a middle stage test shot. But we're gonna go see a final version of Inventa very soon. So, no, sorry, Magna very soon. I believe they told me that it might be shipping in the next couple weeks and is due out sometime in October, I think early October. So, as with all these live stream reviews, please go ahead and throw your questions up. If I miss any of your questions, it's because I'm on this little iPhone screen and I cannot keep up with all of them. So, all right. So first things first, I did a quick 360 of it. Just for scale, let's go ahead and bring out certain characters. So here's Streak, which sits just below just the front portion of this. So he's like a little more than 2 streaks in length. In terms of width, he's like 1, 2, 3, I guess 4 streaks in width. I wanted to get a jet or some sort transform, but I ran out of time, so I'm not going to be able to do that. I will bring in a official deluxe figure. See just how tall Skylynx is. And to be clear, this is not supposed to be masterpiece scaled. This is part of the reformatted line. And as such, maybe I should bring a reformatted character out as well. I don't have any version of Skylynx. This is my only Skylynx right now, and he's going to Toy Dojo right after this. So you can see how big he is compared to the upcoming roller. Let's see who else we have. We have MP10. So again, not intended to be masterpiece scaled. And in shuttle mode, you can see he's a lot shorter. Once we get him in his, bird Lynx mode, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you can say he's, as with everything G1, scale is determined by which frame you're looking at. And here he is compared to Fans Project's Menasor. If you have any other comparisons that you'd like. Oh, sure. Carnifex? Oh, okay, let me get to Carnifex later at the end when I do the Q&A and stuff. Just remind me. He's just at the back of one of my shelves, so it would take me, 20 seconds of dead air just to get to him right now. But we'll do that at the end. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of scale for now. Someone asked earlier that I saw the question. Yeah, Shadow Vaporeon, he does split in half. So the way that works is he has a little tab at the back end here and then a sliding joint. So once I pull this out, you'll be able to see it much better. So there's a tab here and a sliding like I-beam piece. So this part slides into this portion, and then this tab locks into this bottom tab slot. And again, you can just see how large he is. He does have landing gear. Fans Toys Grimlock. I do not, Gabriel. I do not have Fans Toys Grimlock. I don't have any of the Fans Toys Dinobots anymore. I got rid of them. People are probably like, got rid of Fans Toys Dinobots. You're crazy. No, I'm in the Gigapower collecting mode right now. I did have, I think, 4 of the Dinobots, but I got rid of them. But yeah, landing gear in the front as well with wheels that move. And then down here, Astro Train, I don't have, if it's first party Astro Train, I do not have him. I don't collect a lot of first party like Hasbro stuff. These wheels do move all 6, 6, 6, 6, so 24. Yeah, there's not much you can do with this mode. With the shuttle, he does have the wheels, and he also has these, I guess, rudder things. Third-party Astro Train, I do have him. He's in robot mode, though. Again, if you want to see him compared in robot mode, just let me know at the end of the review when we have more time. I want to keep the first portion of this pretty quick for those who watch this video later. All right. So he does have a little arm with some teeny tiny little claws that can open up. You can rotate around and grip stuff like a space shuttle does. All right. I think it goes in like this. Oh, I gotta close that up. But yeah, there you go. I think that's it for the playability in this alt mode. He has a little slot here. I'm guessing that's where you can put the symbol, repro label, or whatever you want to call it. Let's fold this up. Any questions on this portion? Iron Factory Blastoff. He is currently in combined mode. So I'm batting really poorly. Somebody asked me on TFW for like 3 different comparisons of toys that I didn't have, maybe 4 different ones. All right, so let's go ahead and let's deal with the bottom up first. So say goodbye to the space shuttle for now. And Inventa is pretty easy. Yes, MP Collector, I have Transformers, just not the ones you want. All right. The shuttle mode is gorgeous just because they do a really good job. So the first thing we'll do is actually have these over-under tabs. You push up on the front section, and you can see that these separate. The claws or feet are tabbed into the front here on some beefy tabs. Right there you can see the paint chipping right now. Again, this is a sample. This collapses. There we go. This rotates around. And then you just position the toes. Wait, I was wrong. This is the front, right? Yeah. And then you can angle these toes outwards like this. I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, something like that. Or am I doing this wrong? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I think it's supposed to go like this. Wait. All right, I'm confusing myself. These toes are supposed to go the opposite way of. All right. There we go. I think this might be right. But if I'm wrong, again, forgive me, since I didn't get any instructions. I'm just messing with this guy as he became available. I feel like something's wrong here. Aha, there we go. Okay, so this flips around this way. That's what I was doing wrong. Come on. This toe flips back like that. And you see this little nub piece here. That actually nubs into this section here. That's what I was getting wrong. All right, same thing on this side. Make sure I got it all right. Yeah, this side was right. And again, these toes kind of splay out. On this side, we do the same thing, exactly the same. Just gonna pull this down. And again, I'm sorry for the angle. I'm reaching basically as far as I can possibly go with my with my camera as far out as possible. So I'm almost at full arm's length trying to manage this transformation. This collapses down. And lastly, the same for the other leg. Basically, just want to always have the wheels facing the back. Like so. Make sure to collapse this ankle. And then there's two pieces on the back that form a tail. They are separate, but they're actually molded together. So if you pull one out, both come out, and then you get these dual tail pieces, which are pretty unique to Lynx. Honestly, kind of odd. A kind of odd character or design choice. Sorry guys, I've been busy transforming, so I've been missing your questions. Give me 1 second. Once I finish the transformation, I'll look at your questions. Lastly, you're going to open this up and rotate the head out and then close it back up. And this is the solid. How is the weight? The weight is, he's pretty hefty. I don't have my scale with me right now. It's in the kitchen, but he's pretty hefty. And he also comes with a secondary head, this chromed one, which I don't know why you would not use this one. This one looks phenomenal. They're easy to swap out. It's just a ball joint. And I'll do that now. Just pop this off. And each piece does also have LEDs. So this one is an earlier sample, and the wiring is really ghetto. So I had to put some tab pieces, paper pieces, to keep it compressed. The other one is much better, so it's going to be hard to see, but you can see the red LEDs peeking through this blue translucent on both sides. He does have a little gun in here. And then you push that little button in the inside to close that up. So let's get rid of that one. And you can see the nice chrome one here. And this one looks really, really nice. The batteries required are AG2, or I think the equivalent is 396A for you keeping track. And again, press this button and you get the red LEDs. You just need 2 of those AG2s for each head. So you'll need 4 in total if you are a madman and want to have both powered for some reason. There you go, just pop that on. Articulation wise, he has a lot of great articulation that isn't immediately obvious, but let's go ahead and look at the head. He actually has a ball joint here as well as that rotating platform, but not just that, he has another joint in here for the ball joint. So he gets a nice amount of range. All these ratchets that you hear on the paws, so they don't go all the way around, but they go all the way forward and pretty far back. The quote-unquote bicep swivel. Sorry, I'm missing these questions. And again, this may be painted later. I'm guessing this is going to be painted. This is just bare plastic. There might be a kind of a gold or flat paint that comes with it. I just don't know. He does have double jointed friction, I guess, elbows, if that's what you want to call them. He has friction ankles as well as ankle tilts. Those toes, and again, these can all these are individual, so these toes can individually articulate. And then that heel piece can also move. And again, if you want, you can pull this down to get additional height for some reason if you wanted to do that, but it's not really intended for that. And then these toes can also rotate up and down at that piece. So all the legs are the same in that respect, so don't expect anything else. I do have some mainline figures, but it's probably going to be very few and far between. The tail here has individual sections on each segment. So you get friction joint. They're actually dual friction joints. So you can see 1, 2 segments. And they can rotate on each as well. So you get a lot of articulation here. This tip piece also wiggles and waggles. I don't have Zeta Toys Devastator. I have MMC Predaking. I'll do that later. Teddy Tycoon. Who the heck is Teddy Tycoon? All right, so where else? Oh, so the middle section is where you get a lot of hidden articulation that, so you can see all these ratchet joints here, both going up and down, but also side to side in here. Same thing back here, side to side and up and down. So you can make him do lots of bendy poses like this, bendy poses like this. He can basically go 90 degrees. He can do lots of curls. So he can articulate a lot and spread out very wide, dynamic, animalistic poses. So lots of options with this guy. So I don't think you'll be afraid of posability here. So the designer did a really good job. I've been trying to get the designer to join one of the live streams. That's why it took so long to do this one and my trip to Korea. But they didn't respond in time. So I don't know if they were just not interested in doing a live stream with us or not. So in this mode, we'll do comparisons as well since people are asking. Here's MP10, a deluxe figure, a masterpiece Carbot, here's a combiner of sorts, more of a chug style combiner. Legends figure. I do have Legends figures. I just don't know if I have any. Give me 1 second. Here's a Legend scale Iron Factory figure. All right, and again, we'll do more comparisons at the end of the video when you guys have specific ones. Like I'll try to bring out Pharaoh Rex. He's somewhat reachable in my display. So let's get the Lynx guy out of here for now. Bring in Space Shuttle. What is? I mean, I forget. Did they even have separate names? Somebody's gonna school me and be like, yeah, obviously the top portion is Shuttle McShelton, and the bottom version is Lynx because his name is Lynx. All right, so let's go ahead and do a transformation for this guy. I like to start off with the tail. Let's open up this too because it's gonna make this part a lot easier. So I didn't think so either, but I could have been wrong. First thing we have to do is open this door on the back because there's a tab there. Just release the tail, and then you pull up on this top portion. And again, I open the door so you don't have any interference there. And this entire section here of the tail comes out. So you open this door, and this is all compacted in here. You can see the feet. Oh, I should have gone over the die-cast portions. I'll go over the die-cast portions in a bit. But there is die-cast. I think I mentioned it in my preview at TFCon. But let me try to remember to do that. Why is this tail not going through? This tail does go through. At least it's designed to. Oh, I know why. Because this joint is really tight. That's why. What's going on? This tail's supposed to fit through here. Okay, there we go. And this tab comes up to fill in the gap. You can bring his bird feet down for now. And you can hear the ratchets as well. All right, so let's close this back up. Close this door. And then again, that's the gap filler. And these pieces come back down and tab into place. Close this up. And you can see just how long this guy is. It's ridiculous. And all the segments, again, are double jointed at each end of the segment, as well as a rotational hinge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this last piece has a 5th hinge. So lots of posability here. I don't have MP10V. I actually sold mine. I think at TFCon, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Here, Ratchet's there. Bring out his... Man. Do I have my splitter with me? There we go. His feet are die cast, both the rear toe as well as the main foot and the three claws. You can hear the ratchets at the ankles. It does have ankle tilts, but we'll get into articulation in a bit. I just want to straighten these out. All right, so that's the back portion. The next portion we'll do is the wings. You just pull these out, straight out. And then this lower section back here, underneath here, you pull out on a sliding joint, and then also has a slider on the bottom that hinges out like that. You're going to rotate this 180 degrees and pull out the wing section. So the wing was just kind of on here. You just lift it up to release it. Same thing on this side. You can rotate it around first if you want. Just remember to pull out on that sliding joint and rotate it out and splay the wings. And why are prototypes great? Because they're not painted, and that's just the color of the plastic. Not all prototypes are gray. I've seen some that are blue. I've seen some that are like yellow. It's really whatever paint is or plastic they have available, which tends to be the cheapest as well. And if they are testing at the stage where they're going to start testing painting, they want the base color to obviously be the base color that they're going to use in the final production run. But earlier test shots, you see a lot of them through Hasbro and through other companies as like blue, even weirder colors than that. So down here, let's open up this piece. This piece and this piece down here, which I didn't untab all the way. Will come back, double hinge on itself like so. And I guess double hinge here and then double hinge up here. And we'll tab in securely back here. Like that. You can bring the neck out with the head. This is in a couple of sections. This piece can rotate around. It's actually on a double hinge. I think you're supposed to bring it back a little bit. So again, from a top view, you can rotate this arm back and down, and you can bring this neck piece down and back as well. All right, we're almost done. And then lastly, these sections up here, they split in half and rotate back on those arms and tab into the sides. So this section, since it's an earlier prototype, since he's coming out later, he's a bit looser, especially in the neck section, and a lot less stable. So forgive the wobbliness and instability. It's not indicative of the final tolerances, obviously. But just wanted to give you a heads up. All right, so I didn't get any of those questions right now. Open this up. He does have a blaster as well as some molded teeth, which look really great. You can open up super wide. I think that looks fantastic. He obviously has neck rotation and a hinge here. Base of the neck is where the rotation is. And then again, each of these segments can rotate up and down as well as side to side. So he can go around quite a bit. Like so. Like so. You can check his undercarriage, you know, to preen himself. The wings can rotate around for transformation, but also for posing. They have ratchets so they can flap, like any bird should be able to do. Oh no, a panel piece fell out. Let's plug that back in. Come on. Can't see where I'm plugging into there. So there we go. For those of you who are joining late or have questions, so this isn't entirely G1 accurate. It's some kind of a merger or melding or unique design between the G1 Skylynx as well as the IDW, from what I'm told. I actually haven't seen the IDW Skylynx before, so I'm just taking MMC at its word there. What other portions? So we already talked about this. Again, this piece can slide in and out, so you can compact the wings. Down here at the legs, his legs can splay out like that at the base. And then he has ratchets here at the hips, ratchets at the knees, ratchets at the ankles. The heel claw articulates the base. 3 fingers articulate at the base and can splay out the first and third claw. There is ankle tilt. And we already talked about the forward and back ankle tilt that's ratcheted. We talked about the tail, but again, segments, 2 joints at each section that go up and down, and then 1 in the middle that goes side to side. All right, so that's a lot of work. Let's try to get him somewhat positioned so he can stand and he's not like drooping down too much. What the heck's going on with his wing? Oh. All right, stay right there. Bring in some comparisons again. Here he is next to MP10. Here he is next to Advanced Projects Menasor. A deluxe figure, a Masterpiece car, and a Legends figure from Iron Factory. Oh, all right. Well, she's down for the count. A flight stand. I guess they could reuse this tab and then this piece here that are the pieces that are used for mounting to the Lynx portion, but I don't think there's a specific port, you know, a standard like 5mm port or something like that. Man, all this paint on the diecast is like marking up this new shooting area I just put together for this. All right, let's get these guys out the way. And then I'll bring in the Lynx portion so you can see both at the same time. Although it's going to be really, really hard to get them both in frame, to be perfectly honest. They're big. I think, again, it really depends on what you want for your collection. If you're a scale nut, maybe you would say that this is not, you know, masterpiece scaled. But as people have pointed out, it really depends on what scene you're looking at, right? Scale is so often ever changing in the world of animation. You can see just how long they are. Again, just for scale, MP car, you know, very long, especially with the Sky version, which his tail and his neck fully extended are totally large. Thanks, T-Man. T-Man, doing the job, right? I do appreciate likes if you guys appreciate what I'm doing and the work I'm putting into obviously doing these live streams and negotiating with companies to let me do that. All right, so let's get down to the real nitty gritty. What you guys all came here to see, which I already reviewed a bit before in the preview, but let's get to the combined mode. All right, close this up. We're not too far off either. Just want to tuck the head in like so. Close that up. Like that. And for this, you have to get into a specific position. You can't have him just straight out. You have to have him kind of collapsed, where this I-beam portion is higher than the back portion. I forget, he doesn't have the tail out when he's combined, is he? Does he? I guess we'll just leave it out for now. I don't remember. All right, let's see here. So that's basically it, unless you have to push these in which case, do that. If it's not supposed to be out like that, you guys can figure it out. You guys can imagine what it's supposed to look like. The only things we have to do here, mostly deal with the legs, but you also have to deal with this portion. So this portion has to come undone from the bottom. It will rotate and it will sit like this, and we'll see how it collapses and attaches to this guy in a bit. So just leave it like that for now. The legs, how did the legs go? The legs always confuse me because the feet have to be pointing up like that. So I'm thinking, all right, let's open this up because I need to take a look. So let's lift this up. The feet have to come in here somehow. And I think it goes like this. Yeah, just like that. So you bring the leg straight, bend this at 90 degrees, and then bend this 90 degrees flat, like so. Get the legs in like this. And you'll know you have them positioned correctly because these prongs will go in between the toes. Make sure to have this little flat piece gap filler out. Like that. All right. So that's really it. That's all you have to get that in preparation for. You're kind of halfway between the shuttle mode and the bird mode. Keeping an eye on this I-beam piece and sliding that in here. And then afterwards pushing these teeth into here. So let's see if I probably won't be able to show it off very well because I can't even see it myself. But you get a feel for it. Oh, no, maybe not. I'm lying. You don't get a feel for it. You got to look. And then tab that down. And there we go. We have them locked in. This portion will tab onto the front here with this piece, if I can make it work. All right, it's getting hard. Oh man, he slid off. So this connection is a little loose, again, since it is a sample. But bear with me for just a minute while I try to get this in play. Come on, man. Okay, I think I got it. This piece will tab into the chest here. And one portion that's already changed is that when this folds down, come on, man. When this folds down, there are tabs underneath here that have slots that are currently not present here, but they will be present. They were present on one of the more closer to finished models. But it will tab in like this so that it will sit closer to the body and stay flusher to the body. For some reason, I can't get this tab to go in though. You guys get the idea. I'm not gonna waste your time watching me fiddle with this thing for days. Rugalite, I have no idea how hard it is to design a figure, but I gotta imagine it's pretty darn hard. Yeah, so this will tuck in a little bit more. I don't know why this isn't tabbing in though. Oh, that's why. So this piece is not straight. It's supposed to be a little bit straighter. I'm probably messing something up. There we go. So you can see the 3 tabs here, the one in the center and these 2 rectangular ones. That's kind of how it's supposed to go. And then this section goes in like this and tucks around the bottom. But of course, because I'm messing with it live on stream, he falls apart and everyone's like, what the heck is this guy doing? All right, forget it. You get the idea. That's how it's supposed to look. We're just gonna get him positioned into a decently looking pose and then start to take questions. All right. But yeah, this guy is massive. I can't even spread the wings out. Otherwise, I can't get enough depth in my shooting area. But you can see just how menacing he looks with his teeth. I always thought he looked a little too evil to be an Autobot, to be honest. You can get this around like that. Yeah, that just looks cool with his tail peeked around like this. All right, one last chance for these standard comparisons that I've been doing throughout the review. MP10, Phoenix Project's Menasor, a Legends class figure, a deluxe, a Masterpiece Carbot, a deluxe figure. Scott was Carnifex, yeah. Yeah, the legs are super solid. So I didn't mention it before. All of his lower foot area, all this blue stuff, is painted die cast. All segments, as far as I can tell. The middle part, the toes. I think maybe just this one piece here. Oh, sorry. One piece at the toe that connects the back toe to the front toe. I think that is plastic, bare plastic, because I think it's where the screw or pin goes. So if you guys know, like doing kind of die-cast on die-cast hinges don't really work well, especially with pins. Phoenix Project Menasor, I like that figure. I know a lot of people want a lot larger scale for their combiners, but when the early days, you know, back in our day, we didn't complain about MP scaled combiners. They didn't exist. You know, we're so spoiled now. You know, Pepperidge Farm remembers kind of deal, right? But now we're spoiled. The fact that people like sell their like old Devastator, their Meg Toys Devastator and Phoenix Project Menasor for like $200 or less, I think people are nuts. I think these figures are well worth it, even if it's not at the scale that you guys want. They're great figures. The thing about Menasor, though, Phoenix Project Menasor, is Motormaster is kind of a pain in the butt. The rest are okay, but he is super complicated. All right. So give me 1 second to get Feral Rex. I know some people asked for that. So give me a second, all right? It's going to be some dead air. Forgive me. Hard Return actually did a couple of photos, did a photo shoot with his Feral Rex at TFCon. You guys probably saw those photos, but you can kind of see how large they scale. And if you get his head up, I'm biting your sword. So I'm okay with this scale. Warbertron scaled. I do have Warbertron. Yeah, zombie bot. Obviously, this is a test shot. Everything's super loose, especially on the shuttle portion, the sky, what we're calling the quote-unquote sky portion. That's why it's bare plastic, no paint or anything like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about the tolerances. I don't have UT Warlord. Fans Toys Willis. Fans Toys Willis should be getting cheaper once the official Hound comes out. I would just hold off on that. He was going for crazy money for a while, like $300 or 250 plus bucks. I don't think Fans Toys Willis is worth that much. All right, let me get a Warbotron. Give me a sec. All right, here's Warbotron. He's kind of transformed in a fan mode type of way, but you can see he towers above him. I don't have Metroplex, sorry. I don't think I have any of the Titan class figures. Show him with what legs extended. Roconius P. I don't know what you mean with his. Oh, legs extended. Okay. So for those of you joining late, as part of the transformation, you can extend his legs if you want to get a little bit more height out of him. It's not really intended for height. It's for transformation purposes, but it's a good idea. Oh no! All right, you just hang out for a bit. If you want to get more height, artificial height out of him, at the cost of being a little bit janky looking, you can do that. Oh no, Skyline, his neck's totally broken. He's all upside down. Come on. Yeah, I feel like I have his back oddly positioned, or is the back part of the Lynx oddly positioned. Oh, not only that, I guess you could extend his ankles out even further, because his ankles are also kind of folded in for transformation. But you can get another, I guess, centimeter or so. So if you get him as fully extended as possible, mistransformed, you can get him pretty tall. Yeah, his neck portion is pretty weak right now. So this is him fully extended in height, and you can see just how tall he is. There. Optimus, do your job. Help a fellow Autobot out. Does that help? His head is literally resting on Optimus's head. Yeah, I think he looks kind of goofy with his legs fully extended like that, with his ankles up, his legs extended, his legs completely straight. But if you want, then you can do that and get a couple more inches out of him in height. All right, so let's move this guy out of the way. And if you guys have any Q&A, let's go ahead and do that now. I don't want to keep everyone up. I also have work early in the morning tomorrow with kids going back to school as well, so I don't want to keep anybody up too late on their Sunday night. Let's collapse this back to something a little bit more natural looking. I say natural, I'm talking about a freaking pterodactyl Lynx hybrid robot transformer. That's natural. I guess as natural as you can get for what I just said. Okay. Yeah, the only hope I have for this is that, I mean, they clearly wanted to make the combination between the two pieces a little bit more stable than what they currently have. So again, they did add some stability through the tabbing of this front section into the bottom. I think that will do a good job. That'll go a long way in making the combined mode way more secure than it currently is, even in this prototype stage. The box size for Magna is not too small. I mean, not too big, because it folds up very compact into his like shuttle carrier mode. So it's not a big box. It's probably as big as, you know, the MMC Tarn box. maybe a little bit bigger actually, but it's not overly huge. I think the Inventa portion is obviously going to be a much bigger one. Even in shuttle mode, he is still quite long. I don't know what Lynx would retool into, but MMC is the master of retooling, so retooling recolors. So if there is some kind of recolor for Lynx out there or exclusive, I would bet the farm that they're going to do it. Especially with as big as this guy is, you're going to want to recoup as much molding cost as possible with additional figures that you can do. There are screws in the neck, each sections of the neck, so I probably could tighten this up, but I don't want to mess with this too much because, again, it's not mine, and people need this. So if I strip the screw or something like that, that's going to be much worse than what we're currently seeing. So I don't want to mess with that too much. All right, let's see. Nero Lynx, yeah. At the very worst, Keck 23K, that's probably what we'll see. A black and purple version. Purple Griffin from one episode. I don't remember that. Compare Magna to movie live figures. What is movie live? Are you talking about the Masterpiece movie line? Shoot, do I have anything? Oh yeah, hold on, give me 1 second. This is kind of a weird comparison to ask for, but okay, here he is with movie Masterpiece Bumblebee. Let's move that up, get them scooched back a bit. So they're kind of in the same plane now. You can get a better idea for how tall he is. You could probably ride him pretty easily. Yeehaw! He doesn't really look like he's riding. He looks like he's just sleeping on him, but... Weird comparison to ask, but you ask and you shall receive. MP Dinobot? Where is my MP Dinobot? My MP Dinobot is in the back of my Beast Wars shelf, so I don't really want to get him out right now. Oh, somebody said Carnifex. Yeah, give me 1 second. That one's kind of far out there, so let me look for it. All right, so here is Carnifex, who is still one of my favorite figures from the reformatted line. I just love that guy. Hey, friends, I mentioned in my last review, I can't actually review the MMC RC. There's actually an error on the test shot that they have, so I can't transform it fully. So they have to correct that and send me a new sample or something like that before I can do that. Tyrantron or Orion. Who's Tyrantron again? Is that Megatron? I don't have Orion. I know I don't... Wait, who's Orion? Is that Toy World Orion? I don't have Orion anymore. I used to have him. Yes, so I do have Tyrantron, but he is currently occupied behind my entire IDW More Than Meets the Eye shelf, so I'm not going to move 8 figures just to get him. I don't know which Devastator you're talking about. Toy World Devastator would not fit in my review area right now, so my newly set up review area. I do have Make Toys Devi. Give me 1 second. Make Toys Devi. He's basically the same size as Fans Project's Menosaur, so I don't know why I'm bothering bringing him out, but... Because Toy World Constructor is awesome, Rukohai. That's why everyone loves him. In combined mode, he looks fantastic. Granted, he cheats a lot with the parts forming. Raconius, I don't have any Combiner Wars combiners. Yeah, Toy World Devastator in combined mode is super solid as well. No, I don't have any Silver Bolts. I don't have any aerial bots, third party or first party. I do have Fans Toy Skyfire, but again, he's being a tall guy. He's at the back shelf of one of my MP displays, surrounded by like 8 Autobots. So, unfortunately, I'm too lazy to dig him out just for a comparison. You can see how wide his wings get. Like, look at that. It's like 3, you know, I have small Asian hands, but 3 hand spans across. Would you do it for a super chat? What is a super chat? I don't even know what super chat is. Oh my god, my review area, my beautiful review area. Oh, money? No, I'm not really that motivated by money, to be honest. I do this for fun. If I did it for a living, I would be poor. I mean, if you guys really, really want Fans Toy Skyfire, give me a minute. Here's a couple figures standing in front of Skyfire just to... Alright, no super chat needed, but... yeah, because I don't even know what that is. But if you guys really do want to help out, you guys don't have to send money. I don't really care about that. But if you do a like, a share, and subscribe, if you haven't subscribed, that's always nice. I just like to see my subscriber numbers go up for no real reason. It's not like, again, I make any money off of this. People think like you make tons of money. Even like Piog, who has, you know, tens of thousands of subscribers. He probably has hundreds of thousands of subscribers at this point. You know, we all hold regular jobs. We're not like, you know, what's his name, Ninja on Twitch or anything like that, getting all the bits. 6-shot. I have a bunch of versions of 6-shot. All right, this actually looks pretty good though. I mean, I know Skyfire is obviously really big. Probably not supposed to be Lynx tall like this, but I still like the way he looks. What? All right. Yeah, I actually just cleaned. For those of you who joined the other live stream chat, I did a live stream I did the other day. My area is all cleaned up for the most part. Well, now it has all these comparison figures that you guys made me pull out, but otherwise, I cleaned up those boxes. Yeah, I'm not doing any transformations, Shadow Vaporeon. I'm not gonna do transformations for comparisons. That's a lot of work. But if you guys have any actual real questions about the figure, like if you guys want to see more articulation, or if you guys have any other questions, I can try to answer them. Again, I'm not the designer. I'm not even really officially part of the team, aside from doing the official video reviews or video manuals. But I've asked a lot of questions about this figure, so I might be able to answer some of them. Or if you have just general questions about, again, some people were asking about the prototyping, test shotting process, I can probably answer some of those with some level of competency, but not you know, I'm not going to be an expert. A loading bay? Hey, Klinkle, I thought it was like 3 a.m. your time. Or actually 4 a.m. your time. Yeah, he does have the bay doors that open. These kind of get, the wings kind of get in the way right now because it's not supposed to be open for combined mode. But you can open this up, and then he has a little arm in here as well with a little claw that opens and closes. I showed that off before. Message retracted. That's never even. I've only seen that like once before. I don't even know. What's a? He has a Canada arm. What is that? Diecast. Yeah, Hawksman. He has diecast all on the bottom feet here, as well as the feet for the bird feet. So basically, the entire foot here, except this small section. So this very small section right here where the screw is, that isn't. And I think they did that for design purposes. Die-cast on die-cast joints do not hold up well. So they usually put some kind of plastic or something in between as a medium for it not to, you know, lose its structural integrity over the years. But basically everything else I can tell is die-cast. So see this portion, the toe screws into this, and this screws into the other die-cast piece, which probably screws into another die-cast piece in here. So that's why they did it. This is kind of like a crucial joint piece that they wanted to have some plastic to make sure that it held up well. So that's why you don't really see a lot of die-cast on die-cast. If you guys got those War Within figures back in the day, official War Within figures from the, what is it, the Platinum line or something like that, they held up like crap because all the joints were like die-cast on die-cast, and that's never a good idea. That's a failure. Jerry Payne, I don't know what you mean a standard display case. He can probably fit on a DTOL shelf, but you wouldn't be able to get his like tail all the way splayed out. You probably have to curl out his neck and curl his tail, but he can fit height-wise. In terms of height, he can get in, and he should be able to squeeze in maybe at an angle, the diagonal angle to get in. Rotated back. Can the wings be rotated back into shuttle orientation? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, you don't have to rotate it to get into this position. So if you wanted to, you can do that and bring the wings out like this. I don't know if, honestly, maybe this is the orientation you're supposed to have it. When they showed it off, I believe they had it like this. But I guess theoretically you could do it like this as well. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like the left orientation, or do you like the right orientation where it's flipped over better? I don't know. Maybe this looks better with the wings like this. I don't know. Is this tune accurate? The one with the legs back? The wings in the regular orientation? The shuttle orientation wings, or the ones flipped over? What motivates companies to reissue figures? It's really, yeah, it's time, demand. A lot of figures, even if they are in high demand, what seemingly high demand on the reseller market, like the gray market, it doesn't mean that it's really in that high a demand. It just means there's a few crazies that will pay, you know, $300 for, I don't know, what's like Quakeway, for example. He was going for like crazy money back in the day. But once they reissued it, like they reissued it to the high hell. There's like 5 different versions of that figure, and 3 on the reissue with the reissue color. There was a toy color, there was the clear color, And suckers like me, you know, we bought into that. But just because the market seems to indicate that there's a lot of demand, there's got to be enough demand on at a really large number, you know, at least in the couple hundreds, before it even makes financial sense for a company to do a reissue. I mean, obviously they want to make money. If they think they can sell it, they'll do it. But they want to do it in a scale that makes sense. Because will it make more sense for them to focus time for their factory to do a new figure that will probably sell way more than a reissue? Because some people already have that reissue. It really depends. Hawks fan, it's pretty secure, but I explained before, this portion tabs in, and I probably have it somewhat mistransformed. See, this is supposed to stay in flat here with these 3 tabs, and there was a new addition where this portion, this cockpit portion, would tab into the bottom as well. I saw it on another sample at TFCon, but not in this version. So that will also help secure the upper and lower body. The reason why it's probably less secure right now is because 1 is the test shot, and 2, I can barely see if I'm making the connection correct. Because you can't just have the Lynx portion flat, it has to be at an angle. So it's like flat, angle, and then flat again, kind of like this. And you have to have that pretty much perfectly aligned for everything to tab in. And because the tabs aren't super secure right now, it's easy to get that piece kind of out of the way or out of alignment fairly easily. Yeah, only the feet on both have die-cast. I don't think there's any die-cast anywhere else. But I could be wrong. I didn't look at the inner workings of either of these. More like, do you dread translucent? I don't really dread translucent plastic anymore. I think that was probably something that was more of an issue back in the day, kind of like the gold plastic syndrome. I don't dread it so much. I wouldn't get one of those reissues or remolds or whatever, recolors that you see a lot nowadays that are just completely clear plastic, like they did that with Toy World Devastator. They've done that with certain third-party figures where they're completely clear. I would be a little bit worried about that. But like translucent plastic on a smaller scale, like, you know, eyes, or like even the top part of a lot of the carbots that we get, Masterpiece and otherwise, those are usually entirely translucent plastic that are painted black or red or whatever for the hood portions, but the plastic itself is all one piece translucent. I don't think there are any LEDs in the bird head, at least not in this sample, although there is plenty of room. And these portions here look like they're are separate pieces. So it could be that this will end up being translucent yellow plastic, and that there could be LEDs. I think that's actually a pretty high possibility. It looks like it has some molding in there, that a lot of space in there, and molding could, the emptiness in there could be designed for holding some LEDs. Given that the Lynx portion does have LEDs in both heads, it's actually a pretty fair bet. I should have asked. That's a good question. I'll make sure to ask, and if I find out the answer to that, I'll post it in the comment section as a pinned comment. All right, team man, thanks for joining. Keep up the good work on your channel as well. Hey, Ian. So Ian, quote unquote, the hard return, one of the photographers for Mastermind Creations is on the line. Ian, we were just talking about you earlier, saying how you did some great photos at TFCon with Feral Rex. People were requesting some comparisons, and I referenced your photos. So Ian, if you have any questions for Ian, I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing a short Q&A as well. He does some phenomenal photos. 114 Crispy. Are you getting something tomorrow? Are you getting are you getting Magna already tomorrow? Grimlock, I have no idea how much Sky is. I gotta imagine that he's gonna be probably around the same, like 120, 130. I think they're probably gonna make this guy in total around 250. That's just my guess. It's not based on anything that I've heard, but I think it's a pretty fair guess. Pretty safe bet. Mutilated spaceship? I guess kind of. They do have a lot of molded detail in here. Hey Ian, they asked a question. Do you know? Because Ian I think has more of a finished copy of this as well, but he may know. Do you know if they're gonna put LEDs in the quote unquote sky portion of Lynx here? I think they probably will, right? I think they're probably gonna make this translucent yellow or something like that. And given that they already have, no idea. All right, so we're both worthless. Apache, I have him. I never opened him. My current Springer is Big Spring, I think. But I heard nightmare stories about Apache, so I really... And I got him way later than everyone else. So I haven't even bothered to open him. Lucas, it's hard to say if MMC Springer will be the best. I had played with an early version of him from like a year ago, and it was too early for me to even transform. I think for me, it has to have a somewhat fun transformation. If it's not fun to transform, then it's not gonna rate very highly with me. Alan Springer of Unique Toys Alan, he was okay. I thought he was a little too bulky. His transformation was okay though. Yeah, open and play. That's the Springer I have. Big Spring. He's pretty good, yeah. The face sculpt is a little meh, but I don't really care that much about Springer anyways. So if his face is a little bit off, whatever. It's fine. I actually want to do just a conversation piece, a rant discussion on one of these live streams in the future about placeholders and figures that you think actually are done better by third party. So that's a topic I'm probably going to cover fairly shortly. So like, for example, some people buy a lot of quote unquote placeholders because they don't know when the masterpiece line is going to get them. But say, for instance, Fans Toys Willis. Now we have official MP Ham coming out, and some people think that Willis looks better. I think just from the photos we've seen so far, I tend to agree that I think Willis in robot mode does look better. So what happens? What do you guys do with your placeholders that end up being better, in your opinion, than the official? For me, I just have to buy the official because I'm just that kind of a collector that I want to have the official. But that's not necessarily what I'll display. So it's weird. For example, MP Shockwave, I think is a great figure. I don't think he looks the part of Shockwave to me. So in my display, I have Quake Blast, but I bought MP Shockwave, the official one, and I have him. He's just not my display MP Shockwave. Cobra Clan. You must have a lot of space. I have one small room to display my figures, and it's also my office, my home office. So I don't have room to even display all my figures, period, let alone have one in each mode. Yeah, Lucas, I agree with you. The move to tune accuracy has really been a topic that I've addressed many times in my rants. I don't love the overly tune accurate. I think one of the beauties of the Masterpiece line was that it brought that sense of realism to the alt modes. So, you know, this is a super accurate, super realistic looking alt mode with all the colors that you would expect. But then the colors that they do where they get rid of all the surface details and make legs on Ironhide just complete blocks, that, you know, that doesn't do it for me. So that's why for my Ironhide, I actually just recently got the Animus, the Voodoo Toys Animus, which is not a better figure overall than official MP, but I think he looks better as robot mode and more in my, I guess, my style of Ironhide. So I'm gonna replace. I've already replaced my Ratchet with Voodoo Toys Salus, and I'm gonna do that with my Ironhide, but I'm gonna still keep my Ironhide. I don't know what you mean about futuristic renditions, reinventions, Grimlock. So Evil Ash, I don't want to say that third party can be, just better. It's hard to say that one will be better, but another example is version 3 of MP Optimus. Some people are very excited about that. Eric, one of my buddies, fellow Transformer collector, he's sometimes in the chat. He's I think he's ER4 Smiths. He's really excited about version 3. I'm like, I don't know. The more I see him, especially from the back and from the side and from the top, he looks kind of messy. I'm really excited about Magic Square's masterpiece, Optimus Prime, that we've seen. I think he, again, is in my vision, or at least my ideal, he has better proportions. He's not that really skinny, lanky that we got with MP Megatron. Not that MP Megatron isn't amazing, but again, if I had my ideal, I would like to have it something closer to Magic Square's Optimus Prime than the version 3. But again, that's just based on robot mode, not based on alt mode, not based on transformation. All those play a factor, obviously. Yeah, Dinobot's amazing. I really do like the Dinobot. I think he's great. He has me way more excited for Megatron now. Yeah, people are like, "Oh, version 3 blows MP10 out of the water." I don't know about that, but again, if you're looking for a more plain, more cartoon accurate, like very cartoon accurate, I mean, maybe version 3 is the ideal one for you. Yeah, Shadow Vaporeon. Yeah, everyone keeps complaining. Obviously they have to make Optimus Prime because he sells. That's like not selling Spider-Man from a Spider-Man line, right? Yeah, General Techno, again, with the move to this more tune accurate version of the MP line, MP10 doesn't look that good with MP36, but yeah, version 3 will probably look much better. Yeah, David, you get everything in MP Collector is a local and a friend of mine from the Northern Virginia area, so we talk a lot. He buys everything. He buys a lot. He must make a lot more money than I do. David, you don't have Dinobot? Really? I'm surprised you don't have Dinobot. I'll bring him if I remember. Despotron's Despotron is pretty good. I think he's a little chunky for my ideal, and I, for some reason, remember his transformation not being that fun. I don't have any of the Mech Fans Toys dinos. Mech Fans Toys is, so I talked about this in my last live stream. I have a kind of an issue with KO. It's not an issue, but like I have my own philosophy of things I collect. I generally don't buy KOs unless they're offering something that's unique, that or improvement. So if I already own the original figure, I'll buy like a KO if I need, again, if I wanted a white MP10 because I wanted a quote unquote unarmored Magnus, I'll get that because Takara hasn't released one. But I wouldn't buy just an MP10 because and not get the original. I don't tend to do that. I don't want to say that's a hard and fast rule, but that's just something that I tend to do. So the Mech Fans Toy stuff where they just take the designs and oversize them. I think the only figure that I have that is oversized is the MPP10. And maybe, oh, I do also have the oversized Grimlock to fit in with my Gigapower dinos until until the official Gigapower Grimlock comes out. Yeah, I'm just ranting right now, so if you guys are actually expecting more stuff with Skylynx, I'm probably not going to do much more unless you guys have questions. We're just kind of ranting. That's how all my live streams tend to go. CJ Griff, yeah, I definitely would recommend Toy World Constructor. I think it's easily the most impressive combiner I have. And I think he goes really well with DX9's Gabriel, their Omega Supreme, which I vastly prefer over Fans Toys. I think Gabriel basically beats out Fans Toys in almost every aspect. And then when you consider price, I just don't see why you would get Fans Toys over DX9's Gabriel. Yeah, the MP White Prime, the 7-Eleven one. Yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to advertise for 7-Eleven with my collection. What do you call Spinister and Optimus Prime's color? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, 6-Shot. I'm Factory 6-Shot and DX9's Grimsy are sold out. Yeah, again, I don't have any problem with people buying KOs really. I just have my own philosophy of what I'll collect and what I don't. And I talked about it last time. I really have I have more of an issue when people don't embrace that they're doing KOs, when they try to create something and take credit for it when that's clearly not their own. I mean, if you're gonna KO it and be proud about it and KO. All right, later, David. Oh, sorry. Can you show the Skylynx lion head, please? So here's one. This is the uncolored one. I think they're probably gonna paint this a gold color or gloss it up. But there's the chrome one that's installed right now. Yeah, I think I agree, Damon. I don't consider this masterpiece in my mind. He's close enough, and I'll definitely enjoy him. But I think he's a good stand-in until maybe we get something bigger from like Gigapower, who have teased their Skylynx for a while now. And I'm sure Fans Toys has probably done a silhouette of theirs as well. Chrome, I do like Chrome Rugelhide. You got to do it well. Some people do it much better than others, but I also don't like the fact that it's harder to manage and maintain. Yeah, General Techno, he's supposed to be the reformatted scale, so he will be part of the reformatted line. That's why he's not Ocular Max. He's Mastermind Creations. The lion head isn't loose, so this is a second one. So folks are coming in later, so I don't want to misrepresent. He comes with two. So the one that I have right there is just an extra one. It's really depending on what you want for your collection. If you want the chrome head, or if you want... did I transform this wrong? I feel like something's going on here. This is not closing all the way. All right, so I might be doing something wrong up here. But yeah, here's this chrome head as well. And they both have LEDs that you activate by pressing a button in the mouth, and they glow red. I don't know if that's gonna be the final colors. I think it's kind of odd for them to glow red. It makes him look way more evil than I think he should be. But he has translucent blue in both of these heads that have an LED inside. Yeah, I don't know, Antoine. I have no idea why some companies get KO'd more than others. It could be that they have their own factory, Fans Toys. I mean, they are easily the most popular, and they sell the most of their figures of the third-party market. So they could probably warrant having their own factory, while some other third-party may not. And you know, with Hasbro and Takara, they use their own factories, but I think they also use a lot of foreign factories, and so they recently had been cutting down on where their official figures would be produced to kind of combat the KO market, which I think is kind of a futile battle. But if they want to maintain their IP, I don't blame them for taking measures to do that. So I think that's why I think certain figures were not released in Hasbro China, or at least they weren't officially released in Hasbro China. They were sold through Takara Japan version or something like that. Yeah, on Magna, the wheels roll here. There's wheels on Lynx as well. For the shuttle mode, they all roll. Yeah, since we're already here, let's do some kind of weird configuration like this, and we'll get the feet out too, just for fun before we sign off for the night. For those of us that are joining a little bit later, that way you guys can see more than just the combined mode. Obviously, this video will be put up on my channel afterwards, so if you guys missed anything, you can go ahead and review that. Again, die cast and the blue sections here, and the blue sections of the Lynx portion of the figure. And once again, just to be clear, both of these are test shots at this stage, but Inventa should be coming out, or Magna should be coming out very soon. Oh, buddies. Soulmates. Can you be soulmates with your own half, your other half? I guess so. The red tail parts are not die cast. They're just plastic. Yeah. So that's what you're asking about. It's not about the diecast. You were asking why he has two tails. He's always had two tails. That's kind of like asking why he has like a weird pterodactyl head with teeth. It's just kind of the way he is. It's quote unquote accurate. Yeah, Antoine, congrats on getting Gabriel. Like I said, I think he blows Terminus Giganticus, or whatever they called him, that stupid name, out of the water. All right, so if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I really appreciate it. If you guys really like the review and the early preview transformation, first, give a thanks to Mastermind Creations, obviously. You know, they have a Facebook channel, Twitter, and everything like that. Give them a thanks. Let them know you saw the review from P4L, because they were very gracious. It's really hard to put out your product this early on a format like this, especially because not everybody speaks English. So I've had issues with, you know, doing previews, and then, you know, foreign fans think it's a final product, and they're like, oh, this looks like crap, there's no paint on the space shuttle, or it's super loose, the neck joints are super loose, and because they don't understand the language, they don't understand that when, you know, even though I put the disclaimer out there that it's a prototype, early test shop, stuff like that, that's lost in translation. So it's very risky for companies to do that. You see less and less companies doing that. Fans Toys doesn't do that anymore, even with, you know, closer to final copies. And MMC, to go out on a limb and let me do this, one is just showing that they have a lot of confidence, and two, that they want to interact with you guys as a community and their fan base and get feedback. So give them a thanks wherever they are on your social media channels. And then Toy Dojo, they're my sponsor. They're the ones that make this happen. I would not even know any people at any of these companies if it weren't for Toy Dojo and Eddie over there. They're the best. So these guys will be going to Toy Dojo, their location in Austin, Texas. So if you're in the Austin, Texas area, hit up Toy Dojo's location in the next couple weeks, and you'll definitely be able to see these firsthand. And then lastly, if you guys like the review, please give me the share. That helps more than anything. A like helps me get more views. And while that doesn't really do anything for me aside from being an ego boost, I really like my work being seen by more and more people. It makes me more motivated to do more stuff like this. So I appreciate it. For all of you that stayed up late or got up early to watch this, you guys are more dedicated than I am. I appreciate it. For all of you that joined and interacted, I always like hearing from you guys, your opinions, whether it was about the figure or not. It's always great just to chat. That's the reason why I do these live streams. It's just a lot more fun than shooting a review and then posting up online. So I appreciate that. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll be back with more reviews shortly. Have a great one.